So here's a quick look at my museum. I guess I can also use this video here as information for my insurance company. But anyway, here we go. This is my 1957 Crestliner. And this was the one that was sitting in a Arizona desert in Holbrook, Arizona for 26 years. It used to be blue, so I stripped all the paint, polished the sides, painted the top to match our Honda. I did the top frame, the top, and put the interior in. And also something that was almost never done in a boat is I put a headliner in the top here. I made the V windshield. I retained the original dash because I wanted something original in the boat. And I had to make all the seats and all the wood. Everything was gone in it. What you see there's just a gray floor mat, but it's got the matching carpet. And it still has the original Evinrude motor that runs. So I've got that going on. Now let's sweep over here. So this is the big vintage bicycle. So if you go on Facebook and type in big vintage bicycle, you'll see that I had 6 different models. All of them were 8 feet long. I ended up making about 18 or 19 of them that went all over the world. Average cost on them was about $7,500. One guy wanted to pay $14,000 for his in Vancouver, but he had 2 Ferraris in his garage, so I guess that wasn't a big deal for him. So here I got another figment of my imagination, which is the 1953. Started out as a 1953 oval window Volkswagen Bug, and I had 2 cars, the 71 Volkswagen Beetle, which I ended up using the chassis for. I built this body from scratch. So what I did is I extended the front end 16 inches. I put the 32 Ford, Model A Ford fenders and running boards. I made the doors taller and longer, got rid of the posts, and made it a hardtop. And that's the original sliding rag on it. And I made a V windshield, which is on like never done on a Volkswagen Bug. And because I had the 16 inches void between the windshield and the front hood, I made these what I call aircraft doors. So it's access behind the dash. I put the 2010s wheels in the back and the 17.7s in the front. And I put a Porsche 2-liter motor in there in the back, so I couldn't close the hood over it. And so I had to extend the rear another 11 inches. So that way I can close the hood. And here, another figment of my imagination, is the Crossfire. It's a Liberty Walk Crossfire. It's the only one in the world. So Liberty Walk is a super high-end name brand for body kits. They come out of Japan. If you go to Liberty Walk on the internet, you'll see that they're mostly made for all the Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all those high-end cars. But they didn't make a kit for this car. So what I did was I took a kit for an Infiniti G37 and adapted it to fit this car. So the front end right here and also the back end are all hand-formed ABS. It's got the carbon fiber wing. I put the 20 by 11 inch wheels in the rear. And 19.9s up front. So now the interior I really built this car so that way I can take it to car shows on occasion, show my interior work. Oh, there's Nibbles' blanket. So, turn on some electricity here, and you can see that I have what I did to the interior here. I put fiber optic lighting in the seats and door panels and dash. It has the black suede headliner. It has a heads-up display on the windshield for my RPMs and speed. I have a front and rear camera there on top of the dash, and then mounts for my GPS and my phone. The rest is LED lighting inside. And there's the Ego brand logo for the custom interiors, both on the door panels and on the seats. So now I'm going to move over here to the airplanes. So this one here is my very first actual model that I built from my design, and its last flight was in a swimming pool in Phoenix, Arizona. So this here is the GBY. So this one here is actually museum quality. It's got 264 separate wood laser cut pieces, and it's got the correct number of wing ribs, which is 44, just like the real airplane. And anything that was wood on the real airplane is wood on this airplane. Everything that was aluminum on the real airplane is fiberglass, epoxy glass on this airplane. So, try to get a better, closer view here. But I actually made the propellers for this in aluminum, CNC aluminum cutout landing gear, which is same as the original airplane. So over the years there have been plans for this airplane model, and I checked them out when I first started the design and found out that they were all wrong. So there's only a couple pictures of the real airplane before it crashed in 1931, I believe. And I used the original photographs of the original airplane to design this airplane here. So I'm just going to kind of go through this stuff here. So that's the Honda Jet. It was made at the factory in Wuhan, China, of all places. And this is the B-26. Nobody modeled a B-26, so that's why I did it. It's a nice flying model, 80-inch wingspan. This one here is a sports scale, either 120 millimeter EDF electric ducted fan or a P6 turbine engine. Everybody really loved those models. Actually, both of these here sold out pretty quickly. So this is the other figment of my imagination here. This here is the Vertigo Rebel. Vertigo was my name brand for my Chinese airplanes. But I designed this one here to be fully aerobatic. So that's why you see the large flying surfaces. You have leading edge slats. You have the elevators and also movable rudders. And sitting next to it here is the Chinese copy of my Vertigo Rebel. So you can see it's much smaller, doesn't have the detail. Anyway, that's what happens when China copies your designs. That there is the Fly, who I was involved with for many years. They make foam jet models. So this is the last one that I built in China. So I wanted this to look like what an F-86 would look like if they were still making F-86s. So this one here is pretty complicated also. But this is the only one. This here was the prototype, and never made any more after that, and that's when I came back here to America. This is a scratch built ME-163. Scratch built out of foam. I took a big foam and started carving on it, including the wings. So I totally made that shape scratch built. Probably flew it about 300 times. So this is probably the biggest one that I've made. This one here is a 114-inch wingspan. This is the Northrop Gamma G2, I believe, if I'm remembering after all these years. But anyway, this was modeled after the airplane that Howard Hughes raced from Los Angeles to New York. It was a record-breaking flight. And then also there was another one of these airplanes that flew to the South Pole. And that one in the back there, that's my mold for my F-35. So we'll move over to the F-35. You probably saw that in the videos earlier. So I scratch built a couple F-35s here. So I made a couple different versions. I made a lightweight version, and then the heavier, more powerful version. So I kind of over-engineered this, as you can see here. I took the top skin off of this one here, and it's quite complicated, probably more complicated than it had to be, which is one of my bad habits, I guess. And that's the skin for it, but it's a fiberglass skin. I tried to make it lightweight, but you can see in the move and the heat and everything, it got distorted. But I do have the mold, I can make more. And this here is what my ducted propeller engine looks like. So it's got 4 propellers in there. So this is made for lightweight. And I guess that's gonna be about it. Thank you for watching this tour with me. Oh, got one here I forgot. Well, this here was my Honda Element. So the Honda Element, me and my wife, we like to go camping. So anyway, what I did is I did the lift kit. I made the bar on the top, the roll bar, that there is a canopy or awning. I made it a high top I put a big hole in the roof so we can actually stand up inside. And on top of that is a one-man tent. So I had to make the ladder so we can get up on top. Got the gas can, got my shovel. So that's the Honda. It's actually like my daily driver. So I don't know if you can see inside here, but it's too dark. Looks like a big black hole up there on the roof. So I got this set up here with a front and rear camera, mounts for my GPS for our trips, got all my light switches. That's what I have. We got lots of lights for when we be driving around in the desert. Well, thank you for sharing this with me. I hope you enjoyed it.